Alright, so in this video I'm going to be showing how I made this bench variable power supply. This was made from an old ATX PSU. Right now I'm just showing off how the variable buck converter works at the top. There's an output for the voltage and there's a ground in here. We're getting about 8.1 volts. Then we have the standard outputs, the 3.3 volts, the 5 volts, and the 12 volts. So those are your standard rails that you'll see most commonly, but I did want to add the variable converter up top just in case I have some weird electronics that take different voltages. For example, I have a Dremel that's 7 volts. So this is going to be a great tool for just powering different electronics that I have and testing, and I think it's really going to help me out. So I'm going to show you guys how I did it. I have a diagram and everything, and all the files and information will be below. So hope you enjoy. Alright, so just before we get started, here's a material list, things you're going to need. I got all this stuff from Amazon. Really, if you just need a variable power supply, just buy one on Amazon for like 40 bucks. But if you want to actually go through the process of making something and doing the project yourself, get what you see on screen. That's the gist of it. Then you'll need some, wire strippers and various things like that, the generic tools for this project. So let's get started. Okay, so I started off by just removing the screws from the power supply and pulling off the top. And then I just unplugged the fan cable and fully removed the fan, which was totally disgusting. And then I snipped this little wire clip that was holding everything together, and I cut the wires to expose all the individual wires that come out of the power supply. So then I go and group them by color, and I end up with this. I guess we'll just go by and start with the voltages. So these two yellow ones here, these are both going to be 12 volts. The yellow wires are 12 volts. And then I have the black. All of the black are going to be ground. There are just so many of them that I only ended up using half. The orange is your 3.3 volt and the red is your 5 volt. All these extra wires here, you don't really need them, you just need the green wire. The green wire is going to go to the switch to turn on and off the power supply. So not too difficult. I just grouped the wires here together and I crimped them onto this little connector that I got at Home Depot for a couple bucks, and you should be good to go from there. So here I have some 3D printed parts. These are all printed out of PETG or PETG. I use a Bamboo Lab A1 with a 6mm hardened steel nozzle. I just used generic settings. I really didn't change anything special, and thankfully this turned out pretty well. So I have the front panel with a buck boost converter in there, and then some banana plugs. I'm just testing to make sure that everything fits. But once I have this going, I can move on to the next step. And I am going to share all these files down in the description, and at the end of this video I'm also going to show a little more into the file side of things, so if you want to repeat this at home, you can. So at this point it was getting pretty late. As you can tell, it's a little dark, but I am going to pop up a wiring diagram for you, and this is going to help you figure out how to wire everything. Alright, so this is a wiring diagram I made for this project. Make sure to check out by the PSU. You have the different voltages and terminals. Those are the groups of cables that come out of the power supply. So just be sure to follow this diagram. I'll include all the parts in the description, links and everything. And none of this are affiliate links or anything. I'm not making any money from this. This is just for fun because I like making stuff. So if you follow this diagram, you should be good to go. And now I'm going to show off the 3D printed files, which is an STL file that's also in the description. So here we go. Okay, so here's a look at the file that I made in Fusion 360. It's an okay design. I'm not the best designer here, but I'm going to try and show it off the best I can. So there are 3 components. One is the main shell. This is one body that prints all in one. Again, I use a Bamboo Lab A1, and this took about 11 hours. So here's the front plate. When I printed this, I actually mirrored it in order to have the front face be the side that prints on the 3D printer plate to get that textured texture on the front. And then here is the top panel. And here's the build all together. So this printed pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. Just make sure that you are drying your filament if you're using PETG. And feel free to bounce around in this file just to find out the dimensions and double check everything if you're going to repeat this project. It's good practice to learn this anyways if you want to start making things. So Fusion 360, you should try jumping in it. It's free. Alright, that should be everything that you need if you want to reproduce this. Make sure to drop any questions you have in the description and I'll try and help you out. Not the best at making tutorials. Most of this was made for TikTok and other forms of social media. So thanks for sticking around, and make sure you catch the next video.